It is Tuesday morning, October 29th. We are a half an hour into trading and it is time for our morning video. You can see here that the market has been very lackluster. The volume very low the last few days, which is not typical this time of year. September, October, November are traditionally very active trading months. We have the market making a new all-time high, treading water right above that high as we wait for the FOMC statement tomorrow. My suspicion is that this could be a sell the news event. The market's pricing in a quarter point rate cut. We're going to get it, but they're probably hoping for dovish remarks from the Fed. I don't think that we're going to get that. I think the Fed is going to say that we've done enough, economic conditions are stable, and we are in wait and see mode. They do have improvement on the trade front. It looks like the US and China are going to sign a truce in November, and so that takes some of the uncertainty out of the market. Brexit has been pushed off until January 31st, so I don't see that the Fed is in dire need to cut rates again. So the market may pull back a little bit off of this high. The other thing that we have working is that Facebook and Apple will announce tomorrow after the close. They will be the last of the mega cap tech stocks to report earnings. Sellers are usually pretty passive ahead of mega cap tech earnings because they've been driving the market higher. So I believe that there are a couple of influences that could let the air out of the balloon tomorrow. I'm not looking for a major pullback, but any kind of dip would give us an opportunity to reload on our bullish put spreads. That's what I'm looking for. So if you have bullish put spreads right now that are trading for pennies, reel them in, buy them back. Have a nice clean slate to work with tomorrow. We'll be able to evaluate the action after the FOMC statement. If we do get that pullback, instead of focusing on how to buy back your open positions for a profit, you'll be focusing on trying to get the most credit that you can for your new positions. And so that's really what I'm looking at. And we've got a trend line right here that I believe will be first support. I'm going to draw it for you. I'm going to click on this candle, going to click on this candle. There's the trend line. I believe we could pull back to this, let's call it a 300 level, maybe 299 before we find support. And I'm not thinking that we get back to the 100-day moving average, although I certainly would like to see that. We get 50-point S&P moves all the time. There's one there, there. So they're not uncommon, and we certainly could see one if the selling momentum starts to build. It would also flush bullish speculators out who bought this breakout. So hoping for a pullback. If by chance the FOMC tomorrow comes out and the reaction is very bullish and we continue to build on this breakout, then we have to get long, but I'm going to, again, sell bullish put spreads. We'll use this breakout as our support level that we lean on, and I will be more passive in selling those bullish put spreads, meaning I won't do as many. I'll try and distance myself from the action. I don't trust this rally because it's taking place on very light volume. I don't believe that asset managers are going to be overly anxious to buy stocks when they're trading at a forward PE of 17. So they're at the upper end of their valuation range. That means that the upside is relatively contained and all the good news has been posted. We've got all the mega cap tech stocks have posted results. So the back half of earnings season tends to be a little softer. That's how I see things playing out. Let's take a look at what the market's doing today and see if we can find some day trades. Here's a 5-minute chart. The market yesterday gaps higher. Look at this compression. We were in a 2-point S&P range for most of the day. Absolutely dismal. You can see here that we had a little attempt at a rally. This little uptrend line is breaking down right now. I'll put my 1OP indicator up and see if that's going to give us any clues. A little bit negative, but close to that zero line, so not a lot going on there. And there won't be when we have a very tight, compressed trading range like this. So we have to go in, we have to find our stocks early in the day. We've got to make our money and expect that after the first hour and a half, 2 hours of trading, nothing is going to happen. We will be dead till the Fed. So before I get started, I want to show you my early morning comments this morning. There they are. Opening bell rang, and PFE may be good. Highlighted a few other stocks. Long PFE. I want to show you what I've been in. A lot of you probably feel that I'm not trading these things, but they're posted. I'm short JNPR. Excuse me. Giving some more commentary. I'm long LDOS. I like UNH. So these are some of the stocks that I'm going to be highlighting. I do post them in the chat room, and there you can see what I like and what I don't like. I do post them in the chat room so that members can take advantage of them immediately. And I'm going to go to my homepage. Everything that you see in the video today is available at oneoption.com, www.oneoption.com. Option Stalker is what I use to find these opportunities. If you're an active trader, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting these videos an hour after the open every day, and I will have some really good stocks for you to focus on. Also, please give the video a thumbs up if you like the content. It reinforces what I'm doing. It lets me know if I'm striking a chord with you. So let's take a look at what I like today and what I don't like. Very easy during earnings season for us to go through and find these stocks. I'm going to stick with bullish for right now. I'm going to go to after earnings. They're the stocks that are strong after earnings. That's how I found Pfizer early on. Let's go to the D1 chart. You can see how it was gapping up through horizontal resistance, and it was above the 100-day moving average. That 100-day moving average is currently still holding. If the stock gets above the 100-day moving average, this becomes a nice bullish put spread, keying off that 100-day moving average. I'm already out of my Pfizer. I sold it before we came on to the video this morning. So that's one real easy search. After earnings, there's some bullish criteria that we look for. Very easy to spot that. These are stocks that have heavy volume, have liquid options, and are above the prior day's high. There are going to be a couple new candidates in here. OKTA, I like that. Above the 200-day moving average, good bullish put spread candidate right there. Going to take this 10P indicator off, going to put up my 10SI indicator that shows relative strength. So we'll be looking for that orange line to be above zero. RNG, that's been a decent move off of here. I highlighted it on one of our videos recently. That was a nice one. Just going to go through. That's a nice breakout. We had earnings before the open. You can see the stock flying through that 100-day moving average. It's through that horizontal resistance right here, which is now support. You can sell bullish put spreads below the opening price today. That support level should hold. If it's violated, you got to buy it back in. We're selling bullish put spreads because we're not expecting huge market momentum to the upside, but we should be able to tread water. I would keep your trades fairly small ahead of the FOMC meeting. So day trade these stocks. Wouldn't do any bullish put spreads until after the news is out. There's no reason to take that type of risk right now. So I'm just going to go through a few others, and we'll see if we find anything that's popped up since I did my early analysis. And so far, I'm not seeing anything. Watch those major moving averages. But these are all stocks that have heavy volume. You have to find heavy volume right now. I dissected into 5-minute increments for every stock during every day. I take the 20-day moving average for every 5-minute increment. I can tell you if there was a volume spike on any stock. We want those volume spikes because they clue us in on momentum. You don't have a market tailwind, you got to have a strong stock right now. You need buyers coming in to support it. This looks pretty good. LIN, I like this little breakout here. I like it off of that 100-day moving average. Looks pretty good. So we're going to keep going down. And I didn't see anything additional that I want to add to the list. I'm going to go through Pop Bull. This is a great list for our swing longs and strong after earnings. I'm going to go right to that list. These companies have announced in the last 2 weeks. Lots of candidates. How do I narrow this field? My gosh, there's so many to pick from. Well, what I can do is I can put on a filter to make sure that it's on a buy signal on a 1-hour basis. I can also do that for a daily basis and really zoom in. So I'm going to unmark this. We'll take a look. UNH is one that I highlighted right out of the gate. That's one of the longs that I like. And I can show you that in the chat room as well. And I may do that. The early indications are good. So I'm searching for stocks, and I don't see anything else here that's up big VLO has really screamed higher. So I'm going to show you LDOS. That's another stock that I like today. Had a nice breakout here. It's a post-earnings play. I'm going to unmark this and we should be able to see it in here. You can see how the stock gapped up above that 100-day moving average. We have a down trend line here that's been penetrated. That's also bullish. I like this stock. May not be liquid enough to trade options on, but who cares? I like the stock. I have no problem making money trading stock as well. I also like CRM today. You can see how the stock had this tight price action. Very, very strong bid on a lackluster market day. It's trying to move higher. You've got tails under body right here. That's a sign that there is support here. If you want to, you can use that as your stop if you were to get long stock. You use that alert line. So I do like it. There's no market momentum, so we really needed that tailwind. I'm going to go into the flip side and look at bearish trades here. We're going to go after earnings, bearish. These are your dogs for the day. GLW looks pretty weak here. Let's zoom out. There's an uptrend line right here that's been broken. Pretty steep little trend line. And we have the stock below the 100-day moving average. I think this is a solid short to be looking at today. GLW. BP, another short that I like. Take a look at that very quickly. You can see horizontal resistance. Stock can't get through. After earnings, which came out before the open, hence the B, drops below the 100-day moving average. I think we're going to see continued selling pressure on that one today. BP. We're going to heavy selling. These are your stocks that are seeing a lot of selling today. Ooh, Tesla. Tesla's run up so much. We're seeing a little bit of profit taking in it. That was a huge day. You see this inverted hammer. That's a bearish pattern. And the stock is going to be challenging the middle of this green candle. If it gets below it, that's going to be a sell. It'll probably test this. If this fails, then it'll start to fill in. So Tesla could be a really good short today. I'm going to put it on the list, but I think it's one that you have to watch, especially after such a big bullish run. Just clicking through to see if there's anything else I can find on this list that's popped up. Juniper, we already showed you that. That's why that's a nice short. Comes up, tests the 200-day moving average, closes on the low of the day, still holds the 100-day moving average, tries the challenge at 200-day again, fails, tests that 100-day, closes there yesterday, today, weak relative to the market. The stock's going down. Got a little bit of a trend line for support right in there, but I don't think that's going to be much of anything for it to get through. So JNPR, definitely a short of mine. Shorted that very early, relative weakness. Going to go through this list very quickly. CMI, that reported. You can see that it's been up though from the open, so that's a good sign for it. 3M, as long as that 100-day holds, it's okay. Not seeing anything that's of interest there. Going to Pop Bear. SLCA looked very weak. Breakdown, week after earnings. You can see the selling, but it's found support there. And then I'm going to go into week after earnings. I'm not going to go through this whole list right now, but if I wanted to, I could sort that according to what has a sell signal on a D1 basis. McDonald's was a really nice short for us yesterday. QSR was one that caught my eye. This looks pretty good. Long red candles closing on their low. Take a look at that chart. Yes, definitely weak. Down below that 200-day moving average, so QSR is another weak one. And I'm just going to look at the list real quick to see what I might have missed. VFC was one that I liked on the short side. Breaks below the 200-day moving average. Long red candles. Take a look at the 5-minute chart. Finding support down here. So let me recap real quick what I like on the long side. I like symbol PFE, Pfizer. I like symbol LD, I like UNH. I like CRM. What I don't like, Juniper, JNPR. Excuse me. I don't like British Petroleum. I don't like ES. Don't like VFC. And let me see if that chart will load for us. GLW. And Tesla and QSR, I believe, are two other symbols that could have some weakness today. So those are your longs. Those are your shorts today. Keep it light. Right now, I think the market is going to struggle to find any kind of momentum one way or the other. And so I think you need to keep your trading activity and your volume very, very light. Let me see if I can get this chart of the S&P. There you can see. There would be your support line. If it's breached, you can try the short side, but we're going to compress in this tight range and we're going to float right around that new all-time high, and we're going to wait for the FOMC statement tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Trade well.